Hi everybody, here's Krystian from Teamwork Cast.
And this is Classic Putty.
Classic Putty. This is classic CCG Archeology here on Teamwork Cast. We're going to still opening Netrunner stuff, and I'm really excited about opening this one, Nick.
I am too. This is something that's completely unknown to me.
So this is Netrunner Classic. This is very rare, very difficult to get these days. This was basically when Netrunner was going out in 1999. 3 years after the original release, after the first two expansions. Again, Netrunner was going out. They were not going to continue releasing more expansions, but they did have some cards designed for the next expansion that they wanted to release initially. But that apparently was cancelled. So they managed to, the few cards that were designed, they managed to pack them into like a small expansion. Call it Netrunner Classic, and then released it. It's very rare. It's very difficult to get them. I got these as a donation from Falco.
Ah, Falco. The finger of Falco is very nice.
So here's a finger to you, Falco, for this one. No, it's a lovely finger. You know, we love you so much. There's one of the packs already cracked open. We can't. These are not enough to do a draft, so I decided to open them up on a show and maybe put them in like a cube draft maybe at some point.
Yeah.
And for now, we're just going to have the pleasure of opening and enjoying those cards. But before we enjoy those cards, I wanted to, because Nick really wanted to look at some older cards. So I have Imp here.
Ah, Imp is my favorite thing in the entire universe. Look at him.
So this is again not the Imp that we know from the LCG.
Toot!
It's a different kind of Imp, and that can have up to 2 MU of programs installed. All icebreakers installed, and this way have their strength reduced by 1 if Imp leaves play, trash all programs installed. So this is like a bad Leprechaun, basically.
Leprechaun? What?
Yeah, there's a card called Leprechaun that lets you install stuff on it.
The Leprechaun?
Leprechaun, yeah. It's Leprechaun. I'm sorry. Leprechaun is the French way of expressing things. So, bien
Just
sûr.
look at him. He's playing his little trumpet. He's so happy and so mad about it.
I also like that he has pink eyes. He is clearly stoned, or at least the person who created this was.
What else did Mike Kimball do?
Oh man, he is a master with a Pavray.
Crash.
I wanted to also show, because we discussed Urban Renewal. This is Scorched Earth, how it looked on the original. It's basically the same as Scorched Earth in the LCG, but it doesn't have like this blowing up block of a residential block theme. It just has a guy getting blasted. Or maybe he's the one who destroys him. Maybe he's doing like a rocket jump. I don't know.
Rocket jump.
And also, I want to show Leland, because we discussed it previously, and also I really like Leland.
Yeah.
Because FFG, please reprint Leland. It's a 2-cost resource that prevents meat damage for 1 credit, and you can trash it to avoid a tag. It's so good.
So good.
It's so good. I mean, if you get tagged, obviously then they can trash it. So like in a mid-season stack, it doesn't do anything. But like preventing a meat damage for 1 credit, yes, sign me up. For example, if somebody wants to do like a punitive counter-strike in a LCG, that will stop it.
There's so many good cards. Now we're on to the thing that I don't know crap about, which is great.
Yeah,
some people would say I don't know crap about anything, but that's...
I don't know. I know how it got cracked. I don't think somebody opened it. I think this got some cracked open in a transport, or maybe like sometimes the glue of the cards gets used up after some time. So I'm glad, because I don't have to deal with opening this.
Netrunner Online says there are only 52 cards in this.
Yeah, it's a very small expansion. I think there's 2 rares in each pack, and there's only 8 cards per pack.
Nice.
So it's a very small expansion. I don't know how many packs you had to buy to get all of those. So this is Do the Drine, and it says
this is a rare.
Prep. Oh, sweet. Suffer any amount of brain damage, but not enough to flatline you or to reduce your hand size to less than 0. Gain 4 credits for each point of brain damage you suffer this way. This damage cannot be prevented.
I may be stupid.
I love the artwork on this one. You basically sell your brain. It's beautiful, and you can tell that that like in the 4 years they did so much better on the artwork. So this is Matador, program Icebreaker. It's a killer for 1 MU, 4 cost. break a sentry for 1 credit, subroutine for 1 credit, and for 3 credits, increase strength by 5, strength 0. So this is a ninja, basically.
Yeah, and this is a common.
I like the artwork as well. Like, again, so much better than the core set. Like, some sweet dog and some guy walking around this dog. And the color scheme is the same, but it just do so much. Networking. So this is so yeah. This was the thing that was introduced, I think, in the cycle. Not exactly sure. Maybe also in the Proteus already. But these are the doubles that we also had in Netrunner CCG. So this is lucky find.
Yeah.
Networking. Super glue. For 2 credits, program deres a piece of ice. Use this ability only if you have just broken all the subroutines of that piece of ice. That's a Crescentus. I think Crescentus is cheaper though. It doesn't cost 2. And I like that the Crescentus has the that kind of flavor text is crazy. Epoxy both of your houses.
Epox on both your houses from Romeo and Juliet.
Oh, nice!
Yeah, it's fun.
Love it. I like the Crescentus. The Crescentus flavor text has a reference to super glue, so that's nice. Brain drain.
This is your other rare.
All right. Roll a die on a. It's a sentry. 3 strength, 3 cost. Or roll a die on a 1 to do 3 drain damage. This is not good.
But it could be good.
I mean, 3 brain damage would be horrible.
Yeah.
I also like the alien-inspired artwork here.
No kidding.
But I don't know, man. It's it's not knocking my boat. Entrapment. Ice code gate deflector. Oh gosh, this is very long text. Costs just 2. Also, it's code gate that does something, though. It's not just an end-around code gate. That's nice.
Yeah.
Costs 2 credits, strength 4. If you pay 2 credits, runner is now encountering the outermost piece of rest ice on a data fort of your choice instead of passing entrapment. The run is now considered to be a run on that data fort. If there is no rest ice on that fort, runner is considered to have passed the last piece of ice on that fort. So this is a bit like
it's not bullfrog.
Yeah, I would say something like Susanoo no Mikoto, but Susanoo no Mikoto is just for archives. But you don't have to pay the credits, but it's so much more expensive to rest, but also stronger. So I like that there's deflectors now. Corporate Shuffle. I think we had Corporate Shuffle as well in the LCG. I think that's the same one. Draw 5 cards and then shuffle cards stored in HQ into R&D. That's really weird because I feel like the core LCG, CCG, Netrunner CCG already had cards that do something very similar.
Yeah.
So I don't know how this works. And then we have Stir Droid. That's really great artwork here. Finally, man, this is some really awesome mech in green. It's an upgrade for 0 and for 3 credits and trash. Choose a piece of ice that choose a piece of ice. That ice's strength is doubled until the end of turn. If this would raise the ice strength above 10, its strength becomes 10.
That's crazy.
That's really good.
Ice strength max 10 in this game.
This is really good. This is for 3 credits. You can make something incredibly strong. I think this is better than Corporate Troubleshooter.
I think so.
Although I don't know. Difficult to tell.
So is the distribution the same? 8 for the corporation?
So now, no, because we have 8 cards now. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. So yeah, it's even
4
now.
And 4. Yeah.
Yeah, 4 and 4.
So only 8 with 2 rares with no uncommons. So basically, the rares are uncommons.
So let's see if in 4 years they redesigned the packaging so it's easier to open now. Nope.
You peel it open.
How do you
bag of potato chips, man?
How do you open a bag like this?
No, you just pinch it in the middle on either side of the thing.
Like this?
No, not like that.
Okay, got it.
Like that, but at the top of the deck, and on the that side and the other side. They can go either way. I'm not going to be able to talk you through this. Maybe somebody else can.
Seriously, maybe my fingers are just too slippery for this. I have slippery fingers, I have to say. I never need a hand moisturizer, if you know what I mean.
Chips. Hold on.
Is there a YouTube video? I did it. I did it without any help. This is the second classic expansion Netrunner card. It kind of smells like chips.
Spinal Tap.
Omnitech Spinal Tap Siren Modem.
This is your
Oh,
rare.
man.
Holy cow.
Immediately, I'm amazed by this artwork. This is so much better than the artwork in the core set.
This is an entire book.
What?
That card, there's so much text on it.
Yeah, it's the very little font. I'm going to bring it closer to the camera. Maybe you can read this. So, provides 1 MU. It costs 5. Provides 1 MU. Put 2 from the bank on it. Use these bits only to pay for using icebreakers. So recurring credits. And at the start of each of your turns, roll a die. On a 1, suffer 2 brain damage. This damage cannot be prevented. If Omnitech Spinal Tap Modem leaves play, suffer 2 brain damage.
That is insane.
This is an insane card. I don't know if you would play this, because 2 brain damage?
Yeah.
Oh man. And it's so expensive.
So Clint Langley, who's the artist of that card, he did a whole lot of stuff for Hearthstone.
Oh.
He did a lot of stuff for Blizzard as well.
Interesting. Yeah, it looks amazing. It seems like there's a spinal modem, of course, in Netrunner CCG, but it's way cheaper, and the effects are not as extreme. Sandbog Stake. So was that a rare? Do you know?
That was the card you just had was a rare. This is a common.
Mm-hmm. I think there's no uncommons in this set. No, right?
The rares are technically uncommons, but
so just rares and commons in here. Yeah. So this is Sandbox Dig, 0 cost resource, 3 credits and trash. Look at the top 3 cards stored in R&D.
That's nice.
Oh, it's a hidden resource. They are installed face down, but are put in the trash face up. So I guess you turn it around when you use it.
Yeah.
I like that they could do during a run.
That's fun.
Although, does it really help? No, it doesn't really help, because you would access it anyway, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. You can look and see if it's worth going through a piece of ice that might be expensive.
I think it's a good card. I think you could be using it for interesting ways. So this is a library search for 2 credits. It's a prep. Make a run on R&D or HQ. If run is successful, access 2 additional cards. If you use no noisy icebreakers during the run,
that's such
and
a
if
great
no
theme
trace items
card.
were wow. I like it, because then it kind of like this incentivizes using the noisy breakers. So you kind of have to use other ways, but if you do, you get some. But on the other hand, the best you could do that's basically Maker's Eye. It's just universal Maker's Eye.
Yeah.
MS Todon.
Oh man,
love it. Break sentry subroutine and 1 credit for strength. So it's a 1/1 sentry pump thing. Strength 2. The first time during each run that you break a sentry subroutine with an MS Todon, lose all bits from all stealth cards. Oh, because it's noisy.
Yeah. I mean, it's not running; it's stomping.
And the corp gives you 1 tag. That is a very, very noisy breaker. I mean, it's just 4 credits for a pretty sweet sentry breaker with a lot of disadvantages.
Yeah.
I think you would maybe keep it up as a backup if you run into something really dangerous.
This is your other rare.
It's a reclamation project. It's a double from a corporation. Search the archives for any number of ice cards. Show those cards to runner, then store them in HQ.
What?
What?
Oh my god!
Any number of ice cards? This is amazing!
I mean, you're stuck to what, 5, I think, or 7? I'm not sure what the max hand size is in this version. But,
5. It's the same.
Is it? Okay. But I
but
mean,
you can get like 6.
Damn. Especially if you have cards that can get stuff out of your...
This is amazing. Yeah, and then afterwards you do like there's other cards when you have like 3 quick clicks to install the cards.
Yeah.
This is amazing. This is really good.
Oh god.
So this is Deadeye. It's a sentry killer Sleepy. Sleepy? It is trash a program and a run. If the runner has used a noisy breaker during this run, the cost to rest that eye is reduced by 5. Love it.
That's awesome. I really like this noisy, stealthy kind of thing.
Yeah, I feel like we got like a very reduced, very like nerfed version of this in an LCG.
Nerfed.
Unlisted research lab. So that's an agenda. A 3-2 agenda. Really good. So draw an additional card at the start of each of your turns.
That's not so bad.
Also,
although, as a corporate player, it could be bad.
Yeah, I like it. It's good. The 3-2 is also already good anyway, and I love the artwork here. Some really nice detailed artwork. So much better than the artwork on the core set. Satellite monitors. Note: at the start of each of your turns, you may roll a die for each runner made during his or her last turn. For each one, give the runner a tag. Okay. For 3 credits and 1 trash cost. That's okay if you do like a tag storm deck. That's nice. You don't have the equivalents of these in the current Netrunner. So yeah, these were our beautiful classic cards. What do you think about those cards, Nick?
I really like. I really like everything. Oh, that's sad.
What's
so the artist of the last card that we looked at passed away in 2011.
Oh no.
He did a lot of work on Dungeons and Dragons and was also the head of IBM's art department.
Wow.
That was interesting.
Some really beautiful card. I think they improved the art tremendously, and it's really nice to see some of the cards from the classic to get reprinted in LCG. I wonder if this was like a deliberate choice by FFG to be like, all right, not many people witness those cards, so we bring them back to life specifically for the LCG, you know?
Yeah.
As a kind of like as a fan service to the people who played the original Netrunner, basically. And to the Drine, like some really aggressive cards that really make you runner hurt themselves a lot. Some very anarchy kind of cards, right?
It's very. I mean, Do the Giant, you can tell it's kind of an inspiration for Stim Hack in a lot of ways.
I think there's. I would assume that there is actually a Stim Hack, but this one is more hardcore. You actually sell your brain for money. Because you get to keep those credits, you know.
Yeah.
I wonder, like this with a kind of like card that expands your hand size. Like you keep expanding your hand size, but then you sell it back with Do the Drine would be really funny. And
yeah,
also
this set would have changed Netrunner a lot.
Yeah, it's
kind
really
of amazing.
It really makes you, I think, like looking at the cards, the artwork and the kind of like mechanics, it really makes you appreciate or it makes you think about which direction this card game would have developed if it were allowed to stay. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it gives you like a very hopeful outlook, or like it gives like an outlook in an alternative universe where Netrunner stays around as a trading card game and becomes a really awesome thing.
Yeah, I mean, people have been playing this game for years. There's always those dedicated people. And, I mean, there was artwork for all of the cards, so people were playing with proxy sets and stuff like that, so...
So yeah, this is classic. This is amazing, and I'm really glad that we have now the LCG to continue the tradition of the CCG and to bring some of those cards back to life to continue playing Netrunner. Yeah, again, thank you for Falco for providing us with those boosters.
Falco. Thank you to the finger that I dream about.
This is a really amazing, great job, Falco. And if any of our listeners know any other places we can get hold of more of those because they're so rare, I would really appreciate some hints.
One thing we should say is that, you know, seeing these cards and kind of revisiting the inspiration for what Fantasy Flight has done is great. However, if you want to actually play this game and you don't want to spend money on cards, Octagon has Classic Netrunner.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah,
play it there.
And there's like some very nice community websites where you can get like decks that were competitive. And you can download those decks or reconstruct those decks in Octagon and play the game. It's very similar to the original Netrunner. Don't believe the lies. It's just really the traces is the only thing that's significantly different.
It's the identities.
Yeah, and the lack of identities as well. Yeah,
it's it was very Magic-esque, Magic-oriented in that you know you were building a deck that represented who you are instead of building a deck around an identity, which is, I think, it's good and bad. It's basically a different approach. I really loved the LCG, but I also really like looking back and where it all started. So there's one expansion that we haven't opened yet, which is Proteus. I'll say it for you.
Thank you very much. Which we haven't opened. I have one packet here, but we won't open it sadly because I don't have enough and I don't want to waste those because I want to retain those for the draft. We're gonna do a draft with the Proteus, and we're gonna do a draft with original Netrunner cards, and maybe eventually I will get enough of those Proteus boosters to do an unboxing here.
That would be great. And I might actually look and see if I can find them cheap around here and I'll just mail them to you.
That would be also great. Yeah, that would be sweet. So that will be it for today. I hope you will join us next time where we do some unboxing of other things, maybe not Netrunner related.
We're going to go back.
We're going to go back. We're going to go back because we are CCG Archeology.
It belongs in a museum.